Une grande semaine en tout pour les sénateurs. Premièrement, Chris Phillips a rencontré le roi lundi après-midi. Shane Pinto avec du succès au championnat mondial et les réunions des dépisteurs professionnels qui prend place en préparation pour la saison morte. Tout a commencé lundi après-midi avec une rencontre spéciale entre Chris Phillips et Sa Majesté le Roi, une rencontre spéciale pour l'ancien des sénateurs.
Just incredible, the amount of opportunities you get that I've gotten through hockey. Brought me here today, give me an opportunity to meet their majesties, and it was just really almost surreal to be a part of it. To see the excitement of those kids that are that are out here, that play in the game, learning the game. And then to do it with a crowd of fans, people cheering for them around. Probably never been in an environment like that many people, and obviously the distinguished people that were around to see it take place as well, to be a part of that. They might not understand it today, but in a few years, pretty cool memory for them for sure.
Pendant ce temps, à l'autre côté d'Atlantique, Shane Pinto a aidé les États-Unis à décrocher leur première médaille d'or depuis 92 ans au championnat mondial. Pinto a inscrit 2 buts et récolté un total de 10 points durant la tournoi. Et de retour au Centre Canadian Tire, les réunions des dépisteurs professionnels ont pris place durant la semaine.
We really take a look at the whole year now. We met midterm, and what we typically do at midterm is do profiles for every team. Strengths, weaknesses, what they're looking for at trade deadline, what are they looking for next year. So we're at that end of the year point. So we're doing end of the year profiles and more of the same, but really zeroing in on what's their final roster look like, what are they going to be, who their UFAs are, who their RFAs, who they think they'll sign or not sign. So we're putting it all together and sort of all of us getting a chance to look at all 32 teams.
It's progression, and we took a step last year, and we got to a point where we got into the playoffs, which was the goal, and but that's only the first step of it. So moving forward, it's very important that we continue to build and add the pieces. The core group of our players is another year older, so that helps. They got a chance to experience playoff hockey, which is a huge thing, and now it's just tinkering around the edges and seeing where we can improve the team.
C'est aussi la fin du première année comme directeur du personnel et des dépisteurs professionnels pour Rob DiMaio.
With a new group, have to learn just what we have internally, as far as the scouts that are doing the job. So that takes a little bit of time to get comfortable with that. But all in all, it was very good. I thought we made good decisions. The group was very professional, and we made strategic moves that benefited the team down the stretch and towards the playoffs, so that was a big step for the organization.
Steve Sterling continue aussi de mettre son expérience derrière le banc à profit pour évaluer les joueurs.
I think it's helped me. Again, I spent so much time coaching and then made the adjustment 8 years ago from coaching into scouting. And I'd had a little previous experience when I was working for the New York Islanders. At the end of the season, they put me out and about, so I got a taste of scouting and looking at players. So that's helped me. But I think I look at it a little bit differently than the average scout, because of the playing experience. I'm looking for details, where a defenseman positions himself, and some of those little details that the scout may not see or may not know. So I think that's helped, but there's been an adjustment for me. But all these years in hockey, I've seen a lot of changes. I think all for the good. The game's faster, more skilled.
L'analytique a également occupé une place importante durant les rencontres. Cette semaine, la perspective de Sean Tierney, une perspective importante pour le groupe.
Fortunately for us, and certainly for me at my age, having someone like Sean Tierney, who is really good at his job and able to put it in layman's terms for me, but it's made a difference, because now when you're out scouting and looking at players and write a report and then make your report and Sean pulls up his profile, it's always interesting to see if I'm close or if he's close, and then if we aren't close, we have to hammer it out, who's right, who's wrong, but it's really made a difference.
I think it's a huge benefit. Sean does a great job, and he gives a lot of information on players, and then we kind of go against it with the eye test and what we see and what we know about the player. But it's a huge piece that I find very, very interesting, and I've learned a lot from Sean on that. And it's nice to compare notes on players sometimes and and see if the numbers match up to what we see. And when they do, it's good to have that information.
When you're talking about Steve Sterling or Rob DeMaio, these are guys who spent a full life in hockey, and Steve, and Dale McTavish, all our scouts, they've lived a life in hockey, and analytics is something that's come in new, but they're very open-minded, and so for me, what I want to do is support what they see. The good scout catches the numbers just in the way that they're watching. They see it too, so the numbers are almost always going to line up with a good scout, and we've got great scouts who see the game, so usually I'm just backing them up. But then there's times where, players that we've got a few views on, but not a ton, or players that have, not had a chance to show what they can do. We've got an opportunity to identify players that have got more skills than maybe their team has gotten out of them. So the group is really good at letting other voices be part of it so we can identify ways that we can make the team better.
Bref, une semaine productive en tout pour les dépisteurs professionnels et une bonne semaine en tout pour les sénateurs face au combine qui prend place à Buffalo la semaine prochaine. Pour Cette 360, je suis Jackson Starr.